Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I've got a really interesting review to do here, and this is one that has been delayed for almost as long as the channel has been here. It's taken us a long time to get around to this, and thanks to a conversation on a live chat recently, I'm finally doing it. It's BiS, and by BiS I mean the Japanese group, not the Scottish 90s pop punk band. This is BiS, who are basically, as far as I'm aware, they are the original alternate idol group, as in they work as an idol group. You know, they're a singing, dancing pop group in Japan, but the idea is they buck all of the trends. You know, they're controversial, they do unpleasant and crazy things. You know, that's the impression I have. I don't know much about them except the occasional things I've read coming up in like news bulletins and stuff. Now, interestingly enough, obviously on this channel, it depends on whether you've been following this channel for a while, BiS, who I believe are under the same label but are like the subsequent example of the same thing, are a group we've listened to a lot here, and they're a group I really enjoy. I always said I'm not into every single one of their songs, but the ones that I'm not into I usually like just because of the ethos of how experimental they are. BiS are a group where they can do the poppiest songs ever and it can work perfectly as a radio-friendly pop song, or they can do something insane noise rock thing and, you know, just thrashing and screaming and still do it just as well. They are a group who I've really enjoyed following. Now, when it comes to BiS, the reason why it's been so delayed, partly because we're doing so much BiS, you know, trying to keep the channel varied, it's kind of hard to have two groups with a similar ethos going at the same time. But the other reason is because I did, with our other two reviewers, who at the current moment are taking a slight sabbatical until the beginning of next year, but with our other two reviewers, one of them, Bubbles, he actually listened to one of their songs. He was saying, okay, I've got to send him across which songs to listen to. And I just randomly picked, okay, here's a BiS song with quite a lot of views. I need some BiS. Can you do that while I do BiS? I sent it to him. And then I got his review back and he was like, this is a really like light-hearted guy. And he was like, that was quite disturbing. Oh. And then I saw the review and edited it. I was like, oh, this is not cheerful stuff. So, anyway, a lot of people in the live stream have been saying, hey, Howard, listen to BiS, listen to BiS, listen to BiS. I was like, okay, I'll get there eventually. And then I was sent a link and I said, well, I explained this whole reason. I want to start with something that introduces them well, not something which is too far to one extreme, just something fairly middle of the road for them so I can get a bit of a feel before I get into the more crazy stuff. And then I was sent another link, because apparently the first one I sent was crazy. Apparently this is the best one to start with. It's a song called Bullet Time. Like I say, now I'm going to be honest, I obviously know everything, I know everything, I should finish that sentence. I know everything that I've learned from a lot of the alternate idol groups we've had a look on this channel, and especially from BiS. So I guess in a way that's my psychological reference point going into this, but I do believe from what I can tell that BiS are probably the more controversial group from the little bit I've read. So I'm expecting to be surprised in some way. But I don't really know where to go with this. There's not too much point in me doing too much talk before I listen to it. But just to give you guys an idea of where I'm approaching this from, I'm interested, and yet I also don't know what to expect, which is kind of why I'm interested. So anyway, enough waffle. This is the almost 5-minute video for Bullet Time by BiS. Not BiS, BiS. Thank you. Here we go. 'Oh, okay, I think the song's called Nerve and Bullet Time is referring to the way they filmed it. My bad. It's kind of got almost like a Jamiroquai vibe at the moment. It's kind of like funk pop. Ah, there you go. There's that bullet time. Is that like a kid or something in the middle of the stairs there? So I can see what I was giving this thing now. This is much more sort of normal idol pop, but with a slightly crazy vibe to it. Yeah, it's a kid in like a bear costume. I mean, the vocals are quite processed, but I like how you can really hear a different vocal style from each singer. I do get the feeling there is something almost tongue-in-cheek about the cuteness. It's almost like it's almost like a double bluff. It's like they're subverting the fact that they're not naturally cute people by being cute. And there is one of the girls appears to really have trouble keeping her skirt where it should be. It's a good catchy chorus actually. It's very catchy, like sort of J-pop style song. And the extremely simple copyable dance helps as well. Oh my god, they're upskirting each other. I got some creepy upskirt vibes earlier in this video, and that seems to be a theme that they're coming back to more than I would perhaps be prepared for. It's without really being able to tell what the lyrics were, it has a bizarre tongue-in-cheek charm. Okay. That was safer than, even with the recommendation of this being a safer song, that was safer than I expected. But yeah, it had those little things in there just to let you know, hey, don't worry, we're not a normal idol group. Much more sort of human approach to doing things like putting children in bear outfits under your skirt and stuff like that. Basically, I mean, couldn't really tell what the tone of the lyrics were. I don't know if the lyrics were supposed to be counter to the song. So it counters to the mood and add an extra layer of slightly subversiveness to it. But on the surface, of what I can tell, that was a simple, straight pop song. The vocal production was a little bit heavy, like I say, but that kind of didn't hurt so much because you could really hear the identity of each singer as they sang. It had a real catchiness to it, a surprising catchiness to it. I mean, that's quite an earworm. I'm going to be shocked if that's not stuck in my head, so I'm hiccuping a bit. I'm going to be surprised if that one's not stuck in my head actually moving forwards, because it was very earwormy and catchy. Had the fun little dance. It looked like something that you would really expect like a group of like teenagers to actually come up with. I mean, I'm sure their songs are written for them, but it looks like something teenagers would come up with. You know, the simple but likable dance, the catchy but simple song chorus. the whole nature of it, even down to the way that the video was filmed, which obviously, again, I'm sure is a very arranged thing, but it all felt a little bit like homemade, but in a charming way. It had that sort of charm of what you'd expect from an artist who has like zero budget. And I don't know whether, obviously, until I've seen more of their material, I don't really know if that was a deliberate thing that they were going for, or exactly how that plays out. But it certainly looks like that's the impression they wanted to give, was this sort of real low-budget idol group thing. I mean, if you're ever in Tokyo, one of the things you notice, especially if you go to Ueno Park, I think it's twice a month in Ueno Park, in the little amphitheater, they have a free of charge like idol group, aspiring zero-budget idol group show, where like these local groups come and they do their choreography and everything, and they do their show for just the people who are just randomly there, free in this little amphitheater in the park. And so it really reminded me of that kind of vibe, and sometimes you'll even get like little 2 or 3 piece, or sometimes more, idol groups doing their little dances just on the street, like busking idol groups. You do actually see this in Ueno, and probably in other parts of Tokyo, but that's the part I'm most familiar with. So it just kind of reminded me of that whole vibe, and in that way it was charming. And that also was when you see the slightly creepy bits, like the regular shots that were definitely below skirt length. Again, that kind of reminds you of this feeling that you get from those unsigned idol groups who you see in Tokyo. I don't know if this is a well-recorded thing, but you certainly do see them, and I should probably make a note of that next time I go to Tokyo and probably film some of this for you guys. But you get that vibe of those sort of groups who are not so limited by the rules of what an idol group has to do and behaving in a certain way. Now, obviously, I know this is probably the opposite. This is probably a signed idol group who are deliberately being subversive and deliberately trying to make something look cheap. But yeah, it does catch that mood quite well. On a musical level, there isn't a huge amount to really say, because like I say, it just kind of works in a very simplistic way. The song is a real earworm. It is still in my head right now, but it works. The tune works. The music is a little bit basic. There's not really much going on in the backing music more than just like a beat and enough instrumentation to hold down the chord pattern. The vocal work, like I say, is not like the greatest thing ever, but it's really charmingly identifiable which singer is, and they all sing with slightly different style, cadence, speed. I mean, it's very charming. So I'm quite interested, because the next song that I'm going to do by BiS, not in this video, but I mean, I'll do it in an upcoming video relatively soon, is the one that I was sent directly before they revised their suggestion to this song upon my comment. And that is a song called Idol, which I've been told, no, that's one of the more extreme ones. So if you know the band already, you're probably already making the face going, ooh. But anyway, I don't know what that song's going to be like, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. Now I have a bit of a base, a place to start from, where I can now be prepared to see a shocking alternative in context. That's good. So yeah, like I said, good start, interesting. Does give a rather charming view. But like I say, the whole point of these alternate idol groups is to counter the big mainstream idol groups that can be. I know the whole point of like AKB, that it was supposed to be, it was invented to be the more personable idol group thing. I got like 400 members, so anyone can go and meet their favorite idol because there's so many of them. But still, they basically do have this rather untouchably glossy image nonetheless. So these sorts of groups, despite having less members, I think they're supposed to look more human. And this was a good start for that. So now I'm assuming the next one's going to be us seeing a little bit of them going crazy for alternative. Anyway, for now, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I don't pre-research the groups more than what I must just know by proxy or by reading the comments. So get in there and tell me things I don't know, confirm things I do know, or tell me I was wrong about things that I said wrong about the group. Obviously, music's opinions. I give my opinions from having worked with music, but by all means, tell me what you think as well. And for now, from Japan, until I see you hopefully quite soon, ciao, ciao. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out more of our hundreds of videos we got online on this channel right now, or get involved in the discussion with us at the many social media links we've got in the description below, where you can suggest new videos and artists for us to check out on the channel. Or you can just do the usual YouTube stuff and comment, like, subscribe. You know how this works by now.